Action!
Hello and welcome to The Bomb Filter, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to determine the worst movie ever made. We take bad movies and put them through a series of tests to help us decide just that. I'm your host, Chris Oppen, joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci. Hey, Rob, how are you? And why are we doing this?
Shitty, because we did we're going to talk about two polls, one for the beginning of the show, one for the end of the show.
Yeah.
The beginning is the least important one. It was just for funsies. But what we asked our fans and listeners on our Instagram what kind of Cheeto they prefer, crunchy or puffed.
Right.
And it was 36-32 in favor of puffed.
Why?
They're okay. But like after like three of them, they get stuck in your molars, and you get that perfect cluster when you pick up the crunchy ones. You get like 10 Cheetos in there. And
Yep.
I'm also in a shitty mood because one of my favorite podcasts, Biggest Problem in the Universe, was rebooted, and their Patreon got it to where they're a weekly show now. And
Nice.
instead of listening to it or watching it on YouTube, I had to watch Wild Hogs.
Yeah, that's not a fair trade.
No. And then I was so upset about Wild Hogs, I watched a bunch of Nikocado avocado on YouTube.
Right. I still haven't watched it.
He ate like 40 pounds of noodles and cried. And kind of reset my palate.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's okay. So why don't we just get into some bad reviews so we can give people a feel for 2007 critic reviews of this thing.
Okay.
Peter Rayner of the Christian Science Monitor. We've done the Christian Science Monitor before. It doesn't sound like a movie review site, but they do pretty well.
Yeah.
He says, the subculture of weekend warrior bikers is such rich comic material that the ineptitude of Wild Hogs is doubly offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really accurate. Lane Ewan of Premiere. While each actor is talented in his own right, the on-screen friends relationship is barely developed.
Mm-hmm.
Also very true.
Yep.
And then finally, Toddy Burton of the Austin Chronicle. Yeah, his name is Toddy. You don't hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Usually just Toddy.
Yeah, like a hot toddy, like the drink, but that's
True.
That's it.
Yeah, but my cousin Todd, who listens to the podcast, just Todd, as far as I know. Todd, if you go by Toddy, I'm really sorry. But he says, with his doughy face and oversized features, Travolta seems like a giant puppet these days.
Does look like he's hitting the Botox a little hard.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
To be fair, that went on. He goes on to make fun of Travolta a little bit more, but it's not as scathing, and it's more critical analysis of his films, like
Gotcha.
in the time. You got any YouTube comments?
Oh, we're back on the mental illness train. Let me tell you. Choo, choo. Yeah. Seeing my boy, William H. Macy, getting the baddest baddie in the movie was dope. Nice guys finish first, bitches. I could watch this movie 5 times and I wouldn't get bored. Best funny movie and great actors too. And then I still can't believe I just heard Tim Allen, parentheses, who also did Buzz Lightyear, parentheses, call Woody an asshole. It's just jarring to hear because it feels like he's saying it to the animated character Woody. Thanks, S.J. Ranks. That's the fucking joke. And then I'll stop there. It just goes on.
Okay. That's funny. I'm going to say something similar later to that last one. But all right. So we'll jump into test number 1, the Keystone apparatus.
Sure.
So we take 7 movies. We get their critic scores on Rotten Tomatoes to give us an environment in which this movie exists.
Yep.
We compare the average of those critic scores to our Rotten Tomatoes critic score for this movie called Wild Hogs. Mm-hmm. The difference is our score. Let's do test number 1, the Keystone apparatus.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step up to witness my latest creation, the darn-tootin', rage-inducing, convoluted, highfalutin Keystone apparatus. You want to know if you're predator or prey? Then step this way and have your say. Wait, oh no, what's happening? Something is going terribly wrong! The Keystone apparatus.
All right, so the first one was the Dukes of Hazzard with Johnny Knoxville and Sean William Scott.
Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't see it, but I know it was a thing.
So okay, I think that's a perfect season 4 movie.
Okay.
We should really try to do that one because it got a 14 and neither of us has seen it. Usually if neither of us has seen it, it's a better pod because all this stuff is fresh.
Did you see Wild Hogs or no?
I didn't.
So it was new for both of us. Okay, this will be good.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Good setup.
Yeah.
From Paris with Love. This is a Travolta movie. Have you seen that one?
Is that the one that Fred Durst did?
I don't know, but I do know that Travolta is completely bald, which was like a big move for him, big hairstyle change. So people were like up in arms about that. But he's like a French guy who's an assassin or something. So it's also pretty good for the pod, I think.
Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit directed that.
Oh my God. Okay. Even better. Well, it got a 38.
Okay.
So that's better than I would think that Durst would do anyway.
Yeah.
Get Smart with Steve Carell. That is a movie I never want to see. Got a 51%, so that's good because that's a little high for the podcast anyway.
Yeah.
Grown Ups with Adam Sandler got an 11. I have seen that, and I do not like it.
It seems like a perfect analog for this movie too.
It does. Yeah, that's really so like over the hill kind of big name actors getting a shot at like explaining their midlife crisis in a comedy.
I'll say it now because I don't know where to place it, but it's legacy properties that are like Metallica, The Simpsons. No one's going to see them play Death Magnetic. They're still riding off the Black Album. Simpsons had such a hell of a run in the 90s and the merchandise sales just from that alone are so strong, they'll never end that show, but they should. So it's like a legacy property that it made its impact years ago, all four of these guys, and they're just kind of simmering.
Yeah, they're riding it out. Blue Streak with Martin Lawrence, a 36. Have you seen that one?
Long time ago. I don't remember it.
It's not bad. I think a 36 is a little low, personally. Okay. Ryan Reynolds and Van Wilder got an 18. Another one I haven't seen. And then Con Air with Nicolas Cage. Despite me saying that Get Smart is a little too high of an average with 51 critic score, I would like to do Con Air for the pod. I think it'll just be funny to talk
That's about. A great movie.
56. I don't know if I said it already, but 56. Right. So the average we got for that is 32%, which is about right.
Okay.
And then Wild Hogs, you want to take a guess?
7?
14.
All right. So
still terrible. Negative 18 for Prey.
Okay.
That's our first score. It is not a predator in its environment. It is prey.
Yeah.
So test number 2 is the elevator movie plot pitch. What we do here is we explain the plot of the movie as succinctly as possible. Rob uses a stopwatch to tell me exactly how long it took me. We compare it to the plot pitch for Jaws, which was our last good movie, which was only 8 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So any seconds over 8 is our score. Test number 2, the elevator movie plot pitch.
The elevator movie plot pitch.
Okay, you got that stopwatch?
Yep. 3, 2, 1, go.
4 turds in a plastic bag make their way from a camping site to a small town out in the middle of nowhere. Madrid, not Madrid. That's a joke. Why aren't you laughing, Rob? That's the name of the town.
Because that's the town it is, yes.
Right. These poops felt trapped in that bag and yearned for freedom. That was the point of the whole journey, to get away. Along the ride on a motorcycle, they run into trouble and have to decide if they're going to stand up for Madrid or not. Not funny. Just poop.
37-15. So we'll call it 37.
37-15. Okay. Yeah. I definitely embellished a little bit there, but you got to do it. 8 seconds. So 31.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Start rating.
2. I'll give it a 2.
Okay. Perfect. It does not sound like a movie you want to watch, right?
This movie pissed me off because in theory, it had everything you needed to be a perfect comedy. It had the 100%. Star power. It had the setup. It established every character very quickly. Got straight to the action.
Yep.
There were good setups for bits that they just didn't execute.
I agree 100%. The setup for me, I was like, how could it be bad? It's like, as one of our critics had said, it's like a perfect comic setup because it's the Weekend Warrior Motorcycle Club. That's just funny because it can be really cringy, Yeah. I'm thinking of a former employer of mine who was very much in the same thing. Right. And if done right, it could have been really funny. It's cringy. So, anyway, test number 3, the indefensible dialogue counter is our next test. We just take all the lines of bad dialogue, the ones that are totally indefensible. Rob tries to defend them if he can't. I mean, if he doesn't want to, if he can't, we tally it up. That gives us our score. Test number 3, the indefensible dialogue counter.
Something that makes absolutely no sense. Something similarly stupid.
All right. So Doug is Tim Allen's character.
Yep.
He's at the dentist office right early up in the beginning there. And he says to an old woman as he's like sucking the face off of an old man, you know what we call this thing? One powerful little sucker. And then she's like surprised by that. And then he says, that's the brand name.
Yeah. He did 8 seasons of Home Improvement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He had the Bimford 6100, everything. He does callbacks in other of his properties, like the Last Man Standing. He makes jabs at his own career all the time through the dialogue. And he could have done like a Binford thing right there. And like for fans of Tim Allen, who I'm a fan of, I like what he does, like in a family comedy kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like Tim, but like, you know, it's like I grew up watching Home Improvement and the Santa Claus and all those movies, and he could have. Yeah. I'm not defending it because he could have done a throwback to Home Improvement right there and didn't. I think he should have.
He could have.
Yeah.
But also I hated the fact that he's like, you know what we call it, the one powerful little sucker, like that's the nickname. But then he says it's the brand name.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's kind of contradictory. Didn't sit right. Bobby's older daughter comes down the stairs and says to the screaming daughter, shut up. It's like living with a car alarm that shits.
Once again, it's a funny line, but the delivery was just like, I feel like they didn't do table reads. Like that's a big thing with a lot of these movies for me is you read that written and then you didn't like, you didn't read it around the table with your fellow actors and really try to get them to laugh at it before filming it.
It doesn't feel like any of the actors are in the same room. It's almost like everyone else is CGI'd when you're delivering your lines.
Yeah.
You know? The gas station attendant says some truck driver must have crapped out an entire cow in there, man.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is that funny or?
Do you have any more parts to that conversation coming up, guys?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
I didn't like it. I didn't think it was funny, but then he listed like 3 examples. I was a nom, but this is the first time I ever cried. And then he's like, I've seen some things on the road. I've been to jail. I was like, you did the joke already. Move along. Yeah.
Take it easy.
That whole exchange just pissed me off. I was like, that guy was like an aspiring stand-up comedian who was cast for that part. And he wanted to get like his tight 5 minutes in before they kicked him off.
It wasn't good. None of those lines made me laugh.
No.
I saw what they were trying to do, but it's just bad comedy writing, I think.
Yeah.
Number 4, Dudley's computer. I don't remember what he says to the woman, but the computer says searching alternative sex.
Yeah.
And then it pops up and it's like, oh, Granny is taking her teeth out for you. And like, it's just such an overdone bit that the like guy has to try to close his computer. He's in a public place and it's doing like porn that he wouldn't have watched anyway or whatever. I just didn't like it at all.
So he dismantles the keyboard and tries unplugging the motherboard. You take the battery out, dude.
I would have done it.
Yeah. Like that happened to me, not in that context, but in college when we were like, we had a smart classroom in one of my, at like my old university before I transferred to a crappier university. And, my computer was just making a beep, beep, beep. And like 3 seconds flat, I flipped the computer upside down. I yanked the battery out. There we go. Sorry, everybody.
See, I probably wouldn't have the presence of mind to do that, but this guy's a computer tech, right?
Yeah.
Like that's his profession, something like that. Or a web designer. So he deals with computers a lot. So I think we were supposed to be impressed that it was basically doing the Siri like voice, like responding to commands.
Yeah. In 2007.
Right. So number 5, immediately following Dudley says, and that's William H. Macy, Dudley says, well, iCat, looks like it's just you and me. So his cat's name is iCat, like iPhone.
I don't like anybody that's that into a brand, whether it's Apple or PC or Windows. Just zealotry. He probably has hard opinions on things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably shits in a bag.
Yep.
Guaranteed. So 5 for 5 so far, not scoring so well.
No.
Number 6, before our first clip of the day at number 7, the name of the bar was Biker's Island. which I thought was bad, and then I thought about it a little more, and I was like, oh, like Rikers.
Rikers, yeah.
Yeah, but then I was like, no, you know what? It still sucks.
Yeah.
So do you want to defend it, or should I just...
Shit, no.
No. Yeah. Okay, nice.
I still gotta listen to my podcast. Like I lost an hour, 40 minutes of my life.
All right, so that brings us up to clip number 1 then.
Okay.
And this is Dudley, and it's called Lawyer Cowboy.
Guys, could we...
Did you smell that man's neck?
His cologne is fantastic. It's musky with an oaky finish. Like a lawyer cowboy.
Lawyer cowboy?
No.
Yeah, very no for me. Not funny at all.
No. Once again, it feels written. It doesn't feel...
Yeah, it doesn't feel organic.
Yeah.
Agreed. Number 8, Doug says, I'm not going to calm down. Calm down is just another word for lame.
It's 2 words, so no.
So I just can't believe that they would leave a grammatical error in like that. It's one thing for a person like me writing an outline by myself, not having somebody double checking. But they have a whole staff of people that are looking at the dialogue, and they should realize that he's saying one word is 2 words. 2 words is 1 word. It's like totally back. Anyway, that's 8 for 8 now.
Okay.
So number 9 is Bobby. That's Martin Lawrence's character. He says, if Karen calls, I'm at a toilet bowl seminar in Cleveland.
Once again, it's a funny gag. It's just coming from him in this context, it's not.
And I'm not sure that you're going to have a whole seminar on toilet bowls.
Yeah, they don't really. It's pretty antiquated technology at this point.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward, I imagine.
Yeah.
So no defense.
No.
Number 10 is Woody. Oh, yeah. How's this a bike? Oh, now this is a biker bar. And then Dudley says, I hope they have bran muffins. I'm a little bound up.
Poop jokes. More and more poop jokes.
Uh-huh. More poop jokes. We hate those here.
They're stupid. I've never seen Grown Ups, but I feel like this is the same exact movie.
Yeah, it's the same formula.
Yeah.
Different plot, same formula. Okay, this brings us to clip number 2.
Okay.
I'm just going to let it play.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, we have a right to be...
You don't have any right. Shut up! I knew you assholes the minute I laid eyes on you. Look at the 4 of you!
You don't know us.
You don't think I know you? Well, you're probably a podiatrist or ear, nose, and throat specialist.
I wish.
Orthodontist.
Oh, close enough.
And you, Bobby, guaranteed you're henpecked. Right? Your wife wears the pants.
You know my wife?
And you anal retentive wimp, guarantee you bag your own shit.
Wow, you're good. What color am I thinking of?
Shut up!
It actually made me laugh, but it made me mad at myself. Like, you ever say something then immediately regret it as it's coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, for sure.
This movie, I went, and Stacey's sitting to my left, and I was doing a lot of those side smiles out of the right side of my mouth, so she didn't see I was laughing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there were a couple of instances where I had a giggle, and then I was same deal. I was like, I shouldn't find any of this funny.
Shutter it out.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not going to defend it, but the color part did give me a little chuckle. But the whole exchange overall is too convenient.
It's preposterous. I mean, he knows the guy is a doctor of some kind. He guesses that William H. Macy shits in a bag.
Yep.
Which is totally insane. He says henpecked, which a biker would never say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, in total, I had 4 lines there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that folds us up to 14. 15, Dudley. Okay, so they're debating whether or not they want to turn around.
Yeah.
And go back. And Travolta doesn't want to because he wants to evade the bikers, but they don't know that they're in trouble with them. So he's trying to convince them. And then he's like, Dudley, what about you? You want to come with me? And he's like, oh, no. He says, my sidecar is attached to your bike. I'd rather turn around, but honestly, how far would I roll? So fucking dumb.
No.
Okay. 16. Yep. Maggie to Dudley. That's Marissa Tomei.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted you to try mine. The chili, that is.
Yeah.
Dudley says, no, I'll try it. I like your kind of hot. The chili hot, food hot. That's the kind of hot I want to kiss. Eat.
Throwback to Wild Wild West with
exactly
a breath of fresh ass.
Yes.
A breath of fresh air.
Yes, they once again overdid it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you had done half of that, it might have been a little bit better. But
it's funny if you do it once, and like if it's like a Dane Cook thing. It's like you said the punchline, you got the reaction. Now you move to new joke.
Yes, exactly.
You don't repeat it and go to yourself. Like,
right. All right. So 17 is Doug.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about slapping the bull.
Yeah.
He says a chicken or a goat, maybe a ferret I'd slap, not a bull.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not funny.
Speechless. Yeah.
18. Bobby, after having been attacked by the bull.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's my cologne? Doug says to him, what are you wearing? Rodeo clown?
No.
Agreed.
No.
Okay. Okay. 19. This is some guy. He says, hey, that's my phone. And then biker guy says, your minutes just expired.
That's a very 2007 joke.
Yes.
So, I'm not going to defend it, but like the only thing I would say that would be in defense of it,
mm-hmm.
you perfectly carbon dated that movie. You know exactly. We know exactly where you are in the world.
Right.
But,
do you want to use that as a defense or
no? No, I don't.
Okay. Number 20. This is Bobby to the sheriff after the condiment scuffle.
Yeah.
He says, you got any problems? Come to me. Say the peanuts are bothering you. I don't want to then he grabs the peanuts and starts squeezing them, right? And he's talking
mm-hmm.
to the peanuts now, and he says, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. What did the sheriff tell you? What did the townspeople tell you? What the? That's actually how that line ends.
Yeah.
20?
Yeah.
Okay. There's 3 more.
Okay.
21. Jack, you look like a piñata with red hair, to the suspended Dudley.
Yeah. I mean, his hair is really more of a chestnut, if I would have to.
Right. Piñatas don't have hair either.
Yeah.
Okay. So we haven't defended a single line here.
Oh, fuck this movie.
More. We'll see. All right. 22. Doug. I want one of you to say, it's the Golden Knight, with gusto, though.
I wanted so bad for this scene to be like, it would have been funny if Travolta's character was like, came out of the bush with like a megaphone inexplicably like, oh my God, it's a Golden Knight. But like, he just said it like so like limp dickedly that it just wasn't, it didn't land.
No. Plus they mentioned the Golden Knight once or twice in the movie, but when it happened, I was like, what the fuck is the Golden Knight? You know, cause like I didn't remember it cause it was so, you know.
That was him when he was younger and high.
Yeah. He was high all the time.
Oh.
Okay, so that's 22 for 22.
Yep.
And this is our last clip of the indefensible dialogue counter. Then we're going to move on to our next test.
All right.
Let's shoot for it.
Get a room, baby.
Can we? Do we have time?
When are you coming back through?
A biker never knows. Maybe a week. Maybe a month. 6 days. 10 hours, 27 minutes, give or take 6 minutes for wind resistance.
The guy who falls down every time he gets on his fucking bike knows about wind resistance.
Yeah, exactly. He is a computer tech, as we mentioned, and he knows exactly how much wind resistance he's going to hit from the other side of the country. Is going to cost him 6 minutes.
And this might come up in a later segment, but it's just the whole like the nerdy guy who like does one cool thing who's immediately competent afterwards.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's very tropey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to move on to test number 4, the emotometer overspill.
Okay.
10 is the maximum number of units in your emotional acting. If you're a good actor, you'll hit 10 in rare occasions, but when it's necessary. Bad actors go way over 10 on the emotometer. If we plug it in, you know, somebody from Jaws, say, Richard Dreyfuss, you know, might hit an 8 or a 9, you know, Quint might hit a 10, but it's appropriate. And that's when you know guy knows how to act.
It's pushed to the limit, but they tread that line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This test, we only measure when they pop over 10. So if they're going way overact, it's a good way to measure overacting. So we're going to do that test right now. Test number 4, the ammonometer overspill.
You blow a fuse, sing from, the time will cut loose.
The ammonometer overspill, where screaming is king.
Of falling in love.
Okay, this is a little heavier ratio clip to dialogue than last, but that's because there were 23 lines of bad dialogue in this movie.
Yeah.
So the first one here is clip number 4.
Okay. No intro. Let's go for it. Yeah.
No, you listen to me, Toby. You're not going to push me around. Look, we agreed on a price, and that's a price I'm going to pay. You got it? And if you don't like it, just walk away. And I'll tell you this, you can kiss your business goodbye. Because if you screw with Woody Stevens, you go down hard. You got that? What? No, money is not a problem. Don't insult me. Don't insult me. Money's never a problem. You just have to honor the correct price. You got that? What? Well, then go home, Toby. You make me sick.
I can't do this many leads for $10. It'll take hours.
Well, you should have thought of that before you put that flyer on the telephone pole saying any yard for $10. Toby, come on, let's talk. Let's talk like men, okay? Well, what's the problem?
Money's the problem.
Grow up, Toby. I hate you.
I hate you. Moron.
What's the score?
Okay, I thought it was a 16. I mean, the ammonometer said it was a 16. It's not the worst. Like, he doesn't go way over the top, but it's definitely that kind of comedic line delivery where they're trying to add like a twinge of funny, which always makes it less believable.
It could have been like a scene from Archer.
Yeah.
But they had like the Little Giants music behind it.
Yeah, I was going to say Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
Yeah, same kind of feel. It really doesn't hit.
No.
I gave The Screaming Daughter a 15. I was just like, I listened to this all fucking day long. Can you just shut up?
Yeah.
All right. Wanted to just throw that one in there before clip number 5.
Mm-hmm.
This is number 3 on the ammonometer. Just give it a roll.
They don't need any introduction on this episode.
No.
Here,
Doug, I'm joking.
No, you know what I think? I think you think I'm a boring guy. I'm old and I'm boring now. I've become lame. I think everybody thinks that at this table. I'm lame. I'm just lame. Admit it. I'm lame.
Doug, calm down.
No, I'm not going to calm down. Because you know what I think calming down means is another word for lame. And I'm not lame. I'm wild and free. Wild and free and a man. A man that likes to eat meat. I'm tired of not eating meat. Meat's good. Good for men. And potatoes. I like potatoes, and I like gravy on my potatoes. Yum! I'm living wild. I'm living good. And it feels good, baby.
No, Dad. You're LDL.
What are LDLs? I miss butter. You know why I miss butter? The French think butter is just like cheese. They eat it just like that. Right off the stick. And the French, who've never won a major battle, they know how to eat. And I am living, and it feels great.
Doug, are you okay?
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Dad,
No.
just spit it out.
I'm all right.
Dad, just spit it out.
Come on. Breathe.
I am not all right.
Nice.
Yeah, came back at 19. He really is going for it there.
We both cut carbs for like 6 months at one point.
Yeah, that's true.
When you stopped doing that, because I know I did. Did you just like get a large pizza, like 3 Baconators, and like a bag of Ruffles, like 2 liters of soda, and just like sit there and like that scene is like so satisfying to watch, just because
the drinking gravy, like, I mean, I would do it. I'm not gonna lie.
Just throw the potatoes in your mouth and just like gargle it down.
And to answer your question, I think I just got like 3 pizzas because I'm such a pizza hound that I was all about the pizza. I really honestly think I got like a pepperoni and like a cheese or something like that and just ate as much of it as I could with garlic bites probably or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah.
All right. Number 4 is Bobby. He says, yo, check this out. Does anybody else get that pre-rape feeling? This is at the biker bar.
Yeah.
And then Red, the biker, goes, I do.
Yeah. I don't know what's the score, but I don't know why I had that character.
A 16.
All right.
Dude, you hated this movie. I could just, like, you're like, let's fucking get through these lines.
Because like every one of these things had an opportunity to be really funny.
Yeah.
And they weren't.
It's all through the filter of like way over the hill, director, writer.
We
actor.
wanted the PG-13 rating, so we like dialed it back and it ended up fucking falling flat.
That's so true. To do this one right, it needed to be rated R, I think.
Yeah, because it could have been like a Me, Myself, and Irene type, like where it's just like it's stupid funny, but it's still fucking hilarious.
It's a pretty funny movie. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. This number 5 is Jack.
Okay.
That's Ray Liotta's character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Well, okay. So that was already included in the clip.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave you the wrong time slot, so I'm just going to skip that. It was about the henpecked and the bagging your own shit stuff. So
okay.
I'm just going to skip that, and we'll call number 5 Woody and Bobby when they are completely dehydrated, right? And they're running into the cafe.
Yeah.
Give me a drink, quick. We need water, quick. Grabs the soda gun. Oh, right here. Me, you, me. And then Tim Allen grabs a pitcher of beer and he like turns to the customers and he's like, like growls at them. What the fuck? They were in the desert for like 4 hours and they're apparently going to drop dead of dehydration, which I think takes like 2 weeks.
Yep.
That got a 22.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Number 7 is another clip. This is our last clip of the episode. I'm going to call this one Ride Sally because our Instagram fans might already know what's coming.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever, remember, whatever.
Okay, fine. We'll stay the night, and then we'll get gas in the morning, okay?
Calm down. I just don't understand what your rush is.
Not in a rush. Man, I just want to ride, man. I just want to ride. Ride, Sally, ride. You are so weird. You say the weirdest things, man. You're just like, we're digging the roots, buying real estate and shit. Yeah, why don't you just... What?
I really think that accompanying like comedy, music that they put in there, the like strings, really makes it worse.
Yeah.
In a lot of instances. That came back at 26.
Okay.
That's a fucking heavy hitter.
Yeah.
But it was terrible. It was completely overacted. I understand he's supposed to seem anxious, but it's like you wouldn't be that verbally panicked, At least I would. I get a little tight and I keep it in. A lot of that kind of anxiety, personal. Maybe John Travolta's different, but this is Red, the biker again, the big balding like tough guy. He says, "If we drink piss, we drink it cold." And then there's a quick transition. He comes right back to him and he goes, "We don't drink piss." And then he throws the guy. Came back in 18.
Okay.
Bobby with the ketchup and mustard. No dialogue there.
Yeah.
Just like nothing that I would have selected would have like done the trick. Also had an 18. He's just like really doing the comedic physical acting.
I just watched an episode of Blippi this morning with my daughter where he's like covering a truck with ketchup and mustard at the car wash. So
I know that one.
Yeah.
He does a Dumb and Dumber joke, I think.
Yeah.
Right. There's a little father's lounge for you. We're bringing it back.
Blippi.
Okay, number 10. This one's a doozy. So John Travolta is explaining what he actually did to piss the bikers off, right?
Yeah.
And he does like the scissors with his fingers. And then he goes, "I cut the gas lines on their bikes and then I maybe blew up their bar." And he like grabs his head and like, tucks away. But it's really awful. I mean, really bad. That got a 24.
Okay.
11. And we got a few more here.
Okay.
I think I'm going to leave you up there till your buddies come, says Jack. If not, I'm going to split you open and see what comes out.
Okay. How'd that score?
23 on that one.
All right.
Okay. Okay. This is not me saying something in poor taste. This is kind of an in poor taste moment for the Wild Hogs movie. Okay. You remember when they're doing the like fist fight showdown at the end?
Yeah.
They have Red, that really tall biker.
Yeah.
And they have an Asian man who knows karate.
Of course.
Right? And his name in the credits is Really Tiny Biker. So Really Tiny Biker doing the karate wind-up was a 22.
Okay.
Okay, and this is the last one. This is Bobby's wife. It's a little wordy, so I'm going to go for it.
All right.
Have you lost your mind? Shut up, Doug. Bobby, who are these people and where are we at? I don't give a damn about you fighting no bulls. Now I want you to get your ass in that van because we're going home. I cannot believe you would deceive me like this. She's like shaking her head around, like giving him a lot of fucking attitude. Yeah. 22.
Yep, that's fair.
But that nobody eclipsed the 26 that Woody Stevens delivered.
Of course.
And so he is headed in to meet our first-time defending champion, Emile Fouchon, in the full-on athlete championship.
Hell yeah. We heading on down?
We're heading down. Let's go down there. I think they're ready for us.
All right, cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to ask Cheek!
Hello and welcome to the full-on Ass Cheek Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends from distant nations, help me in welcoming your challenger. Standing at 6'2" and weighing in at 210 pounds of greasy hog meat from somewhere in suburban America, Woody Stevens. And now standing at 6 feet and weighing in at 172 pounds, your man-hunting champion from parts unknown, Emile Fouchon. And there's the bell. Fouchon and Stevens lock up in center ass, and it's a struggle. It would seem our combatants are evenly matched. Woody with the first punch to the gut, and Emile trades with one to the side of Woody's head. Both take a moment to gather, and Emile pulls out a hunting knife. Stevens with a needle-nose plier, but he drops them. It looks like they were covered in gas. Emile with a swing, but Woody evades. 2 more swings, and Woody catches Emile's hand. He bites the hand, and the blade also drops to the dirt. Emile now pulls out a pistol and aims it at Woody, but he's distracted. It seems 3 more Wild Hogs have entered the arena on metal steeds. Full speed ahead as they charge at Fouchon, but Emile shoots at the Weekend Warriors. Bobby and Dudley crash to the sands of the ass floor, but Doug drives head-on into Fouchon. Doug and Woody make a great team as they gather batter Fouchon off the floor. Doug gives Emile a full Nelson while Woody lays in shots to the body. You wouldn't want to hurt my feelings. What's this? It's Pick Van Cleef, tumbling out of a helicopter. He takes aim with a grenade launcher. What are you doing, Pick? You'll kill them all. My God, Pick has destroyed his own ally in Emile Fouchon and taken out the other Wild Hogs in the process. Van Cleef stands alone. We'd have no choice but to declare Pick Van Cleef a full-on ass cheek champion. Wow, we've had some twists and turns, some unexpected surprises, but this dwarfs them all. Pick Van Cleef is your interim champion, and he will have to defend next week to solidify his reign. Back to you boys at the pod.
Season 3 is getting emotional, man.
It's insane, man. I'm not too upset because I didn't want to see any of the Wild Hogs in next week, because they just suck and I hate them. Yeah. But man, you would think Emile Fouchon, the leader of like a man-hunting ring, would put up more of a fight.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to do anything against Ernest, who just like died.
Yeah, he's more of a shadow ops kind of guy. I think when the limelight's on him, he gets a little skittish.
It seems that way, and he paid with his life. But it wasn't a Wild Hog that took him out. They don't have a whole lot of experience killing anyone. No. So it was the surprise Pick Van Cleef who came in with the grenade launcher. Took them all out. That man is ruthless. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next week. Thank you very much, Ass Cheek, and we'll move on to your ad read.
All right. Today's episode of The Bomb Filter is brought to you by Just Enough Butt Crack Jeans. Do you ever find yourself wanting to expose a little bit of butt crack, but are too shy to take matters into your own hands? Maybe your butt crack is hairy, or your back dimples just aren't up to snuff. Well, here at Just Enough Butt Crack, we strive to expose your lower back meat with taste and elegance. strut your butt down Main Street in our classic dungarees. Or if you're feeling like a sassy grunge icon, then go for the acid wash look. It doesn't matter what color or how many layers, your butt crack will poke out with the best of the players. Drop the penny, tee-hee, oh dear. We hear your butt crack loud and clear. Just enough butt crack jeans from the same folk that brought you Rubik's boobs.
Nice.
I got to get better at reading those.
Well, I mean, it's hard when you make yourself laugh in the middle.
Yeah.
But that was well worth it. Really funny.
Yeah.
So, test number 5 we're getting into now, the poor taste detector.
Oh my God, you can't say that. It's 2021.
Okay.
There's a lot here, so I'm going to kind of go rapid fire.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1, a man can't be a writer. He has to provide for the family. So he, because Bobby wants to write a book, and I guess his mother-in-law and his wife are getting like really pissed off about that.
Mm-hmm.
Way to support him, Yeah. Number 2, as long as we stop at some Wi-Fi spots, I'm in, said Dudley. Another one that ages the movie. That's why it's in here. Yeah, that's just not something that people are as concerned about these days.
Yeah, there's Wi-Fi fucking everywhere, and we have data.
Right. I mean, we just took Ben to a doctor's appointment today to like have a helmet because he needs to like have his head like reshaped a little bit.
Yep.
And they had free Wi-Fi in that room. And I remember when hospitals and doctors' offices ask you to like turn off your devices and stuff because it messes with the equipment. But they offer free Wi-Fi now there. Yeah,
fuck up the defibrillators and stuff.
Right. Don't drink gravy and eat straight butter when you're in bad health and you have a kid.
Yeah.
Dudley gave me a GPS in my phone, another one that dates them.
Yeah.
Discussing the hard boners that Woody's wife gives you.
Yeah.
Not in good taste.
No.
There is homophobia galore. I'm going to just give them one knock here, but I'm going to mention it again, a couple different instances. But you wanted to remark on that?
Dr. Kelso from Scrubs, the cop, the biker cop. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was weird. And then this is a guy that just constantly wants to like drink their piss and fuck them throughout
that
the entire
was
movie.
Pretty odd too.
Yeah.
But the one that I'm going to go for here is when Woody Stevens is in the like pool, the hot springs or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're all taking off their shorts and he's like, all right, I'm going to take off my undies, but if any of my gay friends look at my junk, I'm going to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually says gay friends, which because it was a negative, It's
yeah. This was before Prop 8. So
right. Number 7, Bobby will keep his undies on so it doesn't get too dark in the water.
Mm-hmm.
According to him. Just not, this back in the time when they were writing, like you're black, so we're going to like talk about how you're black jokes.
Yeah.
Number 8, the fivesome desiring moto cop is the Scrubs guy.
Yep.
Number 9, Red, I'm going to put their balls in my mouth and chew them. and then Jack says, you're going to put what in your mouth? Number 10, I wanted to say something funny to her, but all I could think of was black jokes, says Dudley. I did have a little giggle when Martin Lawrence's character was like, well, why don't you tell us the one that ends in you getting your ass whooped or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm thinking that, lauding throat bloody chili as a good thing is also in poor taste.
Yeah, it's just a weird people that are into hot sauce.
Yeah.
As like an identity point.
Yeah.
Always bothers me.
Same here. Yeah. Any latching on to anything that gives you like a, sense of personality that you don't otherwise have.
Yeah.
People do that a lot. But the throat bloody chili, the sheriff remarks is he's like, changed the man's life. Like it was a positive or something.
Yeah.
Like, dude can't speak anymore or whatever. Travolta says he felt something with Dudley on his bike, right? And then Dudley defends himself by saying it's just a pocket knife, which he doesn't have. So he's referring to, it's another homophobic joke. Yeah. Bobby calls the bikers stupid ass cracker ass.
Mm-hmm.
Which, isn't too bad, but if we're going to do one, we got to do the other, right? Flip side. Being perfectly okay with slapping chickens, goats, and ferrets.
Yeah. And then I thought about that too. If you slap a goat, it's going to fucking kick you and break your goddamn jaw. If you slap a chicken, it's going to peck your eyes out. Like, none of those things are safe to slap. Like, they're no, like, I mean, a bull will fuck you up, but so will the other things.
It also falls under the animal abuse umbrella.
Yeah.
You know. Number 15 here, choosing to fight a gang of bikers 30-on-4. I'm sorry, that's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
Number 16, sheriff and deputies abandoning their town and not calling the state police.
Yeah.
Okay, number 17, making fun of your brother with a mangled ear by calling him hamburger head. Kind of fucked up. Number 18, remaking the Del Fuego bar instead of some family in need on Extreme Makeovers.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give him that was a funny little like post movie like credit scene.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely people who like are like living in freaking trailers and stuff that would probably have appreciated that.
More deserving, I'd say, than the guys who were willing to kill people in the town of Madrid. So
yeah,
that's what I have. You have any mentions?
No, I think we about covered it.
Okay. All right, let's see. So that is 18 on the poor taste test.
Wow.
Man, that's a huge score.
Yeah.
Okay, test number is 6, and then we're going to do the shitcoin bit after that. Which I'm very excited for. But this one also has a lot of instances. It's called accounting for entropy. So what we do is count up all the tropes and cliches that we notice in the movie, and then we tell them all to you, and the score is how many there are. Simple as that. Accounting for entropy, test number 6.
Obvious tropes. Brought to you by, he's right behind me, isn't he? We're gonna need a bigger boat, and well, fuck me sideways and call me Senator Blimpy.
Okay, I apologize for my quick and pace. I'm trying to get us through. There's just so many things to talk about with this movie.
If I feel the need to jump in, I'll jump in. But this is a rapid fire kind of movie, so
hell yeah. Okay, number 1, I almost crashed Dudley right in the beginning, and then he crashed.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. And you see it a lot. Like, oh man, I saved myself. Bang. You know?
I'm okay.
Yeah. Very earnest.
Yeah.
Number 2, the firm plumbing joke.
Yep.
So it's like, he's a lawyer. That's how he affords the really nice house he has. But his wife obviously is the one who's bringing home the bacon. Because he works for, like a plumbing service or something like that. Not that they don't make money, but
he doesn't have shares in the company. He's just like a part-time guy. Yeah.
Right. Number 3, the catalyst is Travolta's midlife crisis. The whole story, hinges on his midlife crisis. That's it. Number 4, Tom Peterson's death, shows that the Hogs had better go on that trip because they're realizing that they are mortal and might pass away before they have their adventure.
Yep.
Number 5, the freedom trip to nowhere. Number 6, Dudley, the smart, nerdy one.
Yeah.
There's always one in the group. And of course, he's like wearing glasses and has the computer tech job and the wavy hair and he's nerdy. It's like very cliche. Number 7, the car full of hot girls.
Yeah, that's like from Vacation in the 80s.
Yeah, and they're always in a fucking wide open Jeep. They're never in a sedan.
Nope.
Like the girl shopping at the lot, like, oh man, I'm going to buy that Jeep because then me and all my friends can like very dangerously overload the car and hang out with like our bikinis on and drive a highway in the middle of Illinois.
Where are 18-year-olds getting Jeep money like that?
That's a good question.
These are nice Jeeps. It's not like my sister had a Jeep, but it was like used as shit. Like it's like we had to do a lot of work on it, but that was a nice like luxury looking Jeep. They're like 18. Where'd they get that money?
Yeah, and there's like 10 of them in there. There's only 5 seats.
Yeah.
All right. The number 8 is the over explanation of the midlife crisis. Number 9, the catastrophic tent fire.
Yep.
You had to know something was coming along those lines.
Yep.
10, the lame homophobic jokes littered throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Number 11, the hard rock badass Del Fuego biker parade entrance.
Yep.
Number 12, the family interrupting the skinny dip.
Yeah.
It was Another one of those moments where you feel like you're watching Grown-Ups.
The tone, and the tone deafness of it. It's like you see 5 guys who are like clearly naked from the waist up, and who are clearly insistent on like, you don't want to come here, you don't want to come here, and they're like, oh, that's fine, I'll dive right in. Like,
come on, kids.
Yeah,
you want some potato salad? The baseball to the balls of Tim Allen joke.
Mm-hmm.
Number 14. The gas leak from the motorcycles becoming an explosion.
Yeah.
I don't know that it works like that. Unless
massive
there's
explosion.
I know. I was going to say, unless there's some fucking enormous propane tank or something. Number 15, the perception changes everything. So the townsfolk mistake them for Del Fuegos and they're all afraid. Yeah. I think that's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
The second slap to the alert bull shit.
Mm-hmm.
Number 17, Dudley's bravery. And this is the trope that you were talking about before, where he all of a sudden stands up to the gang and like he's like a regular old wild hog now.
Like if you're a coward your whole life, one act of bravery doesn't undo that.
No, agreed. Okay, number 18 is the scene where Jack is saying he's going to break Dudley's legs.
Mm-hmm.
And Dudley says, I don't need my legs. So Jack says, he says, I'm a computer programmer. And then Jack is like, computer programmer, huh? I'm going to break your hands. And then all of a sudden Dudley's like, oh no, you better bring the money. You know, it's like I've seen that 100 times over.
Mm-hmm.
The poser reversal at the end where the Wild Hogs expose the motorcycle gangs for being the real posers.
Yeah.
Number 20, the Magnificent Seven Showdown. That's a big or Seven Samurai, I think might be the originator.
Okay.
21, Bobby's wife, her name is Karen.
Yeah.
I don't think they knew they were using a trope there, but it certainly is now.
It's a trope now in hindsight.
Yeah. Number 22, the send-off Dudley accident.
Looks bonkers. Wilkers, wow. Yeah.
Drives right into a like big stack of hay and watermelons that they have out there for the chili contest, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've got. You got any mentions?
One I thought you were going to bring up.
Oh, okay, cool.
We had it in Armageddon. We had it in Suicide Squad.
Uh-huh.
All 4 of them in a line being introduced, doing the fist bumps at the beginning.
Yes, that's very true. Oh, man. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old side-by-side, like, badass moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, only it's comedy, so they're supposed to not be taken too seriously, right?
Yeah.
All right, dude, let's get into the shitcoin. This is our new bit.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you want to just get right into it?
Yeah, let's do the bumper, and then we'll go ahead. It's $4.50 for a large coffee. All right. Do you take shitcoin? All right, the shitcoin. So I'll be playing the part of Elizabeth, and then Chris will be playing himself.
Yes, just for a quick explanation, if you haven't heard the bit before, Bitcoin salespeople reach out to us on Instagram all the time to try to sell us. What's great about them is that if you get them on the hook, you can really start messing with them before they realize that they're being screwed with. And you can get in a lot of really funny dialogue. So we're going to read the actual transaction that I had with a Bitcoin person. Rob, as he said, is going to play the Bitcoin person, and I'll read you the dialogue that I wrote in response.
All right.
Let's do it.
Hello. Are you interested in making extra income? It wouldn't be a bad idea to have a second chance of income, right? You should think about it. Invest in binary option trade and you would make up to $10,000 a week. Ask me how if you are interested.
By chance, do you mean it's a gamble?
No, it is a trading.
Oh, I don't have anything to trade.
All right.
Would Canadian currency be accepted?
Are you interested in binary options trading?
Binary? Like expressed mathematical notation? I don't know what that is. Can you explain?
Yes.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, Liz. Woo! Sorry. Subtract. Woo!
To get started, you first have to set up a trading account with a suitable platform. I usually trade on crypto over the stock market with applestocktrade.com, and it is the favorite of all. So I will guide you on each steps to get started and how to withdraw your profits successfully.
Your most favorite? Interesting. Is that what you would sug?
Firstly, do you have a Bitcoin wallet or a Cash App?
I have Ancestry app. Does that work? That and Instagram.
Your profits after 7 days of trading.
I do?
Okay, give me a screenshot of your Cash App.
I don't have a cash appointment.
You don't need to go to the bank because you'll be making your withdrawal and deposit through the help of your phone and PC. I will guide you on how much you create an account and make deposit into your earning account, ... Do you have Bitcoin wallet? For now, I'll be trading on your behalf since you're not an expert at placing trades, but as time goes on, you fully understand the process. Then you can start trading by yourself. Hope you understand?
I think I do. You think the cloud is controlled by people have control of it? And that's why Bitcoin is so fascinating. It's where you can make your own profits in your pockets like you, right? I mean, right? Whoa.
So are you interested in it? No.
If it's a chance to go to the tropical island where there's no seaweed that gets all in those toes I have, you know? Her.
My profit of trading for you is just 10%.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask my aunt for permission. She controls my finances because I'm 31 and I can't control myself. I'll do something crazy, like give it to someone I don't know to spend it how they see fit. You know what I mean? Ernest P. Worrell voice.
Okay, keep me posted.
I don't see why she wouldn't. Sounds surefire, like lightning in a hayfield in July. If the hay is dry on account of the rains coming late and the mud going cracks and ashy, you know what I mean? Ernest P. Worrell voice.
So are you trading with me?
Trading words so far like two fencing opponents, one who thinks they have the better of the other. Little do you know that I am not left-handed, Inigo Montoya voice. But let me ask my Aunt Yorga about the Canadian currency.
All right.
She said she thinks you're a snake oil saleswoman. She doesn't want me to do it. Let me rub her little toesies and see if I can get her to agree.
All right.
She says you're trying to take advantage of me because I had that nail gun incident a few months ago.
All right.
End scene.
Okay.
And that's it. She just agreed to stop talking.
Fuck.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I really enjoyed that. I was just like up at like 1 a.m, just like going back and forth with this person. So funny.
Oh, God.
Okay. Test number 7. Back to the serious stuff.
Okay.
This one's called Bad Effects, Side Effects.
All right.
So we have a grading scale. I'll explain it as we go this time. But it's for the CGI and practical effects of the movie. So there's 4 different scores you can get, and then we average out the 1 through 4 to give us our score at the end. So like I said, I'll explain as we go. Test number 7, Bad Effects, Side Effects.
Bad CGI till the day I die.
All right, so all the Dudley crashes I just put together.
Yeah.
I put them as total Scorpion because I feel like the stunt people did like a decent job.
Yeah.
But they're just the cheese factor and the safe looking, quality of them. So I wrote total Scorpion because I felt like it was somewhere in between. Like it looks like a car crash, but it's a very safe one,
It was very controlled because like even like in the parking lot like, outside their bar, Bikers Island, he skids out and like the bike goes rolling and he goes rolling with the bike.
Yeah.
That'd fuck someone up. That would fuck people up. And it seemed like they knew exactly where it was going to bounce. And,
for sure. It was a very like corporate bike accident,
Yeah.
I wrote just a straight up Scorpion for the scenery because there's one shot where they're going over a bridge that's like over a canyon.
Yeah.
And it was like,
it looked great. Yeah.
Yeah. Total Recall for bugs on the goggles and the raven that hits Woody as they're driving.
Yeah.
Stupid. Just bad comedy,
Yeah.
But didn't even look that good. The raven like prop didn't look like a real raven.
The YouTube comments actually pointed out, like, from the different angles when different people are getting hit by the bugs.
Yeah.
Tim Allen's character was wearing a helmet, then not wearing a helmet, then wearing a helmet again.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
I missed that. Okay, so man, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a Scorpion for the tent fire. I mean, I think that really lit the tent on fire.
Yeah.
The marshmallow looked like it lit it. So, I mean, it all translated for me. The bar explosion was Scorpion too. It was a huge explosion, The bull attacks, though, I wrote recall.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because like Martin Lawrence gets hit by the bull from behind, and then he launches like 40 feet into the air.
Yeah.
It's like CGI'd where he like, I don't know if they like pull him from like a rope that they CGI out or what, but he goes like way, way further than you would actually. And it's just a comedic element,
Yeah.
So this one I wanted to ask you if you felt the same way.
Okay.
I gave them a Scorpion for getting the bikers to ride so tightly together, because I've heard that that's actually a challenging thing to do.
Like the formation? Yeah, because if one person like hits the brake or the throttle, then they're all going to go tumbling. So
yeah, exactly. Or if you see like a little, like a rock that you think is going to mess up your tire, you basically have to run it over or like very tightly avoid it without smashing into the person right next to you.
Yeah.
So credit to the stunt riders there with the Scorpion. And the last thing that I'm going to mention, because I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of CGI in this movie.
Yeah.
The surfboard crash at the end drove me insane. So I'm going to mention it as often as I can, and I give it a deep blue.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not only do they like suddenly crash into the surfboard they somehow didn't see coming, none of the three of them.
Yeah.
But they're obviously like pulled backwards.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't that they were pretending like the surfboard was like elastic enough to shoot them backwards, because the surfboard cracks in half, and it wouldn't do that anyway. Yeah. So the fact that they hit it and go backwards defies logic, and physics.
It was supposed to be a simple clothesline type of bit.
Exactly. Yeah, they would just fall straight down.
Yeah.
There's no reverse momentum that would shoot them backwards.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I tallied all that up. So if you have a blue, that's a 1, a recall is a 2, a Scorpion's a 3. There were no Beowulfs, but that would be a 4. So in total, and then divided by the number of incidents, which is 12 here, we got a 2.8. So I rounded up to a Scorpion. How do you feel about that?
That's fair.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they
didn't do
limited
bad.
the CGI, and I prefer it. I feel like we always give them the nod if they limit the amount of CGI they try to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't have the budget for it, don't mess with anything cheap. If you don't want Emile Fouchon's fingers to show that he doesn't know how to play piano, then shoot from an angle where it doesn't show his fingers. You know what I mean? Like they do some tricks and stuff to make it look pretty good. Had to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the logical inconsistency section. Then we'll talk about your movie review.
All right.
Cool. All right, so in this section, I'm just going to talk about all the. It's like a big like umbrella that catches all the crap that doesn't fit into our tests.
Okay.
They are casual riders, and they ride side to side, like I said, in tight formation. They ride once a week, and they're riding like they're Hells Angels 25 years in.
Yeah.
It's just not realistic. Dudley was the only one who got the white name graphic over a black screen when he was introduced.
Okay.
Was that, I mean, maybe they shot that first and they thought they were going to, bring them all in that way, but none of them get that except for Dudley. The screen goes black and then it says in white lettering Dudley.
It was like a Frasier scene transition.
Exactly. Yeah. But he's the only one that got it. So it felt like a decision that they had decided against halfway through the filming.
Yeah.
But then just take it out. It's very obvious that it's not them riding. I mean, that might be debatably CGI, but, it's same as Bangkok Dangerous or Grease too, or what have you. When they're actually riding on motorcycles, very clearly not them. If you're eating the half a pound of butter and gravy and you're having like a heart attack or whatever he's having, don't swallow it. Spit it out.
Yeah.
Because he started having this attack and his mouth is full of shit. And the kid's like, spit it out. And he's like, he drinks it all. It's like, you just bug me.
I guess when you're fight or flight, you just got to bite the butter, man.
Bite the butter. I like
bite the butter.
Maybe that'll become a slogan. Blow the dome, bite the butter.
Yeah.
Where did they store the camping gear?
Yeah, because I've seen bikes that have like cargo attachments on it, because people who own bikes as their primary means of transportation go grocery shopping and shit, but they didn't have those. They had like choppers, right?
Yep.
Well, not were they choppers?
They were like standard, like Harley Sportsters. You know, like the cheaper version, it looked like, you know.
So minimal storage, like a spot for your helmet and like a spot for like your friggin' bag or something.
Yeah. Just no spot for all that camping gear they have. Just stay in the water. No big. You got your shorts off. Don't make a big scene. Just stay in the water. You know, I love some potato salad. I'm just going to eat it rock side in the water. Here, you know,
the water's murky. Even if the kid's diving, they're not going to see your dong.
No, exactly. That's how I felt too. Would the dad confuse a crawfish with Woody's Woody?
I guess they're about the same size.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, depending on how big.
Yeah.
Like crawfish is like probably like finger to thumb, like curled up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I spent too much time thinking about it.
If Woody's at half staff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Ray Liotta sees them coming from a half mile away from inside the bar, like when he's playing pool. He's like, oh, here come the Wild Hogs.
Yeah.
The last gas for 200 miles.
Yeah.
200 miles, really? The last gas station? Jack says that there's a town, or that there's towns all over the place. We're going to have to go in 2-man teams. This 40-man group is going to have to go in 2-man teams to find them because there's so many towns around here, but there's no gas for 200 miles.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think about that. That doesn't line up at all.
No, that bugged me.
Yeah.
Here's something that didn't bug me.
Okay.
Marissa Tomei, is she still a 10 out of 10 in 2007?
Yeah.
I mean, she's just, woof. Anyway, I'm going to stop being like a nasty dude.
George Costanza was into her in like 95, I think. And then on a Seinfeld episode. And then, yeah, she's like one of those, like doesn't age type of people.
No.
Eternal. Like, probably evil. But,
beautiful. Yeah, could be. Yeah. South Park succubus type.
Yeah.
I think that Kyle Gass deserved a little more credit.
Yeah, because he did a lot of bit roles before like Tenacious D really had their heyday, because him and Jack Black were in Biodome doing their Tenacious D thing.
Yeah.
And he did those little bit roles and he got into them. I know it's a stupid character by design, but he sells it.
He does it. He does the job. Dudley is in line just eating chili, and no one in line behind him finds that rude or says a word.
Yeah.
Earl and Buck, ear logic. So those are the deputies, right?
Yeah.
So I can say that because I'm on his right side, says the one brother about the other. Sound travels around the other side of your head.
Yes, it does.
So I feel like he might be able to hear him with the left ear.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to mention that I thought there was terrible physical comedy all around.
Falling down. I'm falling down. Ha ha ha. I'm okay. Falls down again. Yeah. Ha, 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 ha.
Right. Really not good.
Yeah.
Dudley learns a real dance with choreography in 20 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
The bikers aren't going to punch Bobby for the condiments event, really? Like, because they're like, if we touch him, Jack will kill us. No, if you kill them, Jack will kill you.
Yeah, you just punch him in the front of the neck and then you lie.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. The bikers, okay, so I literally just read that one. If it's been 8 hours and Tomei and Macy are in love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else was 8 hours?
What's that?
Kyle Gass's set, because in like in Grease 2, they are doing the hula luau song and dance for the entire afternoon into the night.
The entire sky changes.
Yeah. At least there's some sort of relationship between them, though. What was his name? Dudley and Maggie, I think. Because the Hogs don't seem to know each other at all.
Yeah.
The Del Fuegos didn't see them at first when they're coming into town. They were just up the road. Yeah. On their bikes. And somehow the Wild Hogs, or the Del Fuegos don't see them.
And they're just like behind a bush, like, I don't see them anywhere.
Yeah. Where are they? The people of Madrid would have called the state police. I am willing to bet.
Yeah, because didn't the sheriff himself say, like, it's a 500 population town. The sheriff takes an online class and you're basically...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
like, I'm essentially a mall cop for this town.
Yes. But there are, state troopers and stuff.
Yeah.
You can call. And no one has the presence of mind to say that. In fact, Jack, Ray Liotta's character, says, don't call the cops. Or we'll, but they didn't have Dudley suspended from a tree at that point. So somebody would have called the police.
Mm-hmm.
This is the mention from the YouTube thing I said I was going to mention later. It must have been weird for Tim Allen to yell Woody.
Yeah.
Why would the bikers agree to go 4-on-4?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it might be like an honor thing. You know how like bikers have like their weird honor thing.
Yeah, I guess what's the point of having a huge gang if you're going to just fight the amount of people that they have with the amount of people that
Yeah.
The punches do nothing.
Yeah.
I want to throw that in there. Like they've got little tiny cuts and scrapes from these huge dudes punching them as hard as they can.
So that's a thing. I think I brought it up in the past. And I hate it in action movies, especially. I let it slide in action movies because they're like martial arts and stuff like that. You know, like Jean-Claude Van Damme. You could probably take a hit, but there was a video that kind of rocked my world and changed my opinion on it. Danzig, the big fucking singer, formerly from the Misfits. You know, mother that guy.
Yeah.
He got punched by like a guy who was like 5'2" at a show, and he got knocked out fucking cold. Yeah. And it's one of those things. Like, it doesn't matter. Like you could be Dwayne Johnson, or you could be like Jean-Claude Van Damme, or you could be Tom Cruise, who's like 5'2", and you could be trained as much as you want. If you get punched like where like the back of your head meets like your spine, you're just gonna go down and not get back up. That doesn't matter how
spot on your jaw too. Like if you get rocked and your brain shakes around in there, you go out. You know?
Yeah, and I always told myself, like, I've never been even in like a schoolyard fight. I'm very non-confrontational when it comes to like physical stuff. Because I've seen a friend punch a wall and like fuck his hand up for like 6 months. But if I was ever in danger and I had no choice, I would just throw a punch and hit them right in the middle of their forehead because they'll go down and not get back up. Like,
probably, yeah. You assume. Karen got there in one night.
Yep.
Bobby's wife just showed up in a minivan. They went across country.
With no cell phones.
So they don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah, but Karen and Doug's wife, whatever her name is, just show up. Mm-hmm. They just know where they are. I also didn't like that everyone at the bar after Bobby's like ketchup and mustard incident.
Yeah.
They all knew the name of the motorcycle club. The Wild Hogs.
Yep.
Like, oh, Wild Hogs, everybody in the bar is like, Wild Hogs, you know, it's like, nah, man, it's just not going to happen. And finally for me, Bobby barely fights back and she's like, oh, baby, forgive me.
Yeah.
He's like, you're talking at me, not with me. She's like, oh,
yeah.
I just realized that I've been an overbearing, nagging wife. I'm so sorry. You know, it's just not realistic at all, but they just wanted to be like, you know, rush it through because no one cares.
Yeah.
All right, let's do your movie review.
I have one thing to bring up first, actually.
Oh, sure. Go for it.
You know who Neil Peart is, right?
I'm not sure that I do.
Drummer from Rush.
Oh, okay, yes.
Or some say Peart, some say Peart.
Peart, yeah, okay.
So he's an avid cyclist. When he's on tour with Rush, he gets out of the tour bus and he would ride his bicycle like 200 miles to the next show because he's just kind of a loner, kind of
gas station.
Yeah,
where there's gas.
Exactly. But then he upgraded to riding motorcycles like around the 90s. Yeah. And that was his like therapy because you're on the road all day. It's monotonous. I'm going to go see some scenery. I'm going to travel. After the test for Echo Tour, his daughter goes off for college, dies the day she leaves in a car accident. Right.
Jeez.
And then his wife, who's grieving that, finds out she's terminally ill. But because she like lost her daughter, she just has no fight and she passes away 6 months later. So Neil Peart, he effectively retires from Rush.
Yes.
And he goes on a soul searching odyssey on his motorcycle.
Okay. That
is an appropriate reason to go on a soul searching odyssey on a motorcycle.
Right.
Not because you can't eat butter. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And then he came back and like it came out with Vapor Trails and like Rush had another 20 years before he passed away. But like, that guy lost his entire fucking life outside of his band. And he's like, all right, see y'all. And like,
I don't blame him. Yeah.
But like that is an appropriate reason to want to leave everything behind and just drive with no destination. It makes perfect sense. But like, you don't like your plumbing job and this kid's charging too much to rake your leaves. So you guys are all going to go on
we're gone.
The same kind of odyssey.
You got to escape.
I had to get that in somewhere. I didn't know what section, but I'll get into my review right now. Guys getting old. Motorcycles. Old guys. Old guy falls off motorcycle. More motorcycles. Did I mention they're old? Like middle age? Wow. So there's motorcycles and they're old. And old people on motorcycles are funny, especially if one of those guys falls off the motorcycle. something gang rivalry, something chili cook-off, gay jokes, shoehorned into Forbidden Lagoon, old men, motorcycles, old men on motorcycles. Whoa. There we go.
That is insanely accurate.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's do the bad credits.
All right. Sounds good.
Not so good this week. I'll just read them off.
Right.
We're going from least funny to funniest.
Okay.
In my opinion, of course. Joe Latito.
Okay.
Pilar Agoyo.
Okay.
John Juke Logan.
Okay.
So call him Juke.
Juke.
Bonnie Cleavering.
Okay.
Spooky Stevens.
Spooky.
Albert Gasser.
All right.
Lon Mucky.
Okay.
And finally, Tommy Tom Tomlinson.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, let's do the movie comparison.
Okay.
We've got all our scores. We're calculating. Let's see. Jaws 3D and the Keystone Apparatus did a negative 31, and it's Prey.
Okay.
Wild Hogs, on the other hand, a negative 18 in Prey, so first test goes to Jaws 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Second test. Wild Hogs had a 31-second plot pitch, and Jaws had a 31-second plot pitch.
Okay.
Wild Hogs had a 2-star.
Okay.
So that's going Wild Hogs' way.
Okay.
IDC, Jaws 3D, 15.
Mm-hmm.
IDC for Wild Hogs, a 23.
Okay.
2-1. The emotometer, the highest register for Jaws 3D was a whopping 28. That's huge.
Yeah.
26 for Wild Hogs, that's 2-2.
Okay.
For taste detector, Jaws 3D came in hot with a 16. That's
Okay.
a big score. Wild Hogs, on the other hand, an 18.
Okay.
3-2.
All right.
Tropes, Jaws 3D, 12. Respectable.
Mm-hmm.
Wild Hogs, 23.
Wow.
4-2 with only one test left. Deep blue, deep blue for Jaws 3D, but that doesn't make the difference. Even though Wild Hogs has a scorpion, it's 4-3. Wild Hogs is the worst movie of the season so far, possibly the worst movie ever made.
That's a fair assessment.
I agree. I think it's more egregious than Jaws 3D.
Okay, and we got to talk about what we're watching next week, right?
Definitely. I wanted to mention that Pick Van Cleef is going into the Aspie Arena next week.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. How did that poll wind up for us?
Yeah, so we already talked about the Cheetos one, which is bullshit. But Dante's Peak versus Senseless, 37-16, which makes it a... Where is the percentage? I don't have the percentage in front of me. Well, it was 37-16, so we're watching Dante's Peak. I think it was like a 70-30.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I was going to say 2/3 Dante's Peak, which is good. Only in that it's on HBO. So if you have HBO, you can see Dante's Peak included in the cost of your subscription. So, hey, I wanted to mention that next week we're having a guest on the pod. We've had him already. We love having him on. His Instagram handle, as you would say, I guess, is at think_in_movie_scenes. So it's thinking movie scenes. It's Bob Hassick. Looking forward to having him on next week.
Yeah, he basically, you told me that he basically jumped on Dante's Peak. Because we want to have him back on the show, and he's like, I'm waiting for the right movie to like sink my teeth into.
Yep.
And he saw that we had that up in the running this week, and he's like, I got to get on that. So,
oh, yeah. He hit me up, and he was like, that's the one. So
yeah,
we're going to have him on. Can't wait. You want to plug our audio?
Oh, yeah. So we're the Bomb Filter Podcast, bombfilterpod@gmail.com. You can listen to us on Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple, iTunes, the podcast apps for Apple and iTunes. We have Google Play, Pocket Casts. If you use Overcast or Podcast Addict, you can take the RSS feed from our Anchor feed and you just listen to it on your own app. So you can listen to us pretty widely. If there's anything you can't hear us on, shoot us an email. We'll try getting on there. We're still, we're still kind of new to this. So we got ourselves on as many platforms as possible as easily as we can. So if there's something you think we're missing out on, just let us know. And, Chris, go ahead and plug our socials.
Yeah, so we're on Twitter. We have a Reddit page. But really the place you want to find us is Instagram. That's where we're doing our most action. We do a lot of posts on there. So check us out there and, hit us up. Let us know, if you like the show, what we're doing. Like Rob said, we have that, bombfilterpod@gmail.com that you can, send us your concerns or comments. Just wanted to say thank you very much for listening. We're starting to really build a following here, buddy, and I'm excited because I think we need to deliver the masses the worst movie ever made, and that's our goal. Oh yeah, and I checked the metrics across all platforms. Like we normally hover around 40 weekly listeners, and then if there's like a more popular movie, we spike up towards like 50 or so. So like we're actually. I want to see that go into triple digits soon, and I think just naturally it will. So if we just keep doing what we're doing and you guys keep liking the show, then we'll keep doing it. We have and spread the word.
Movies.
If you like us and you think your friend or your family member or whoever would enjoy it, then tell them about us.
Oh yeah.
So thank you again. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you guys next week with Dante's Peak.